Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for your continued support, you guys. Getting ready to do a reading for Cancer, 4th house, the house of ancestry, heritage, roots, early foundation, environment, mother, caretakers, and cyclic end of matters. Okay, so we're just going to start with 3 of these. There's one. I hope everybody's doing well. 2. And I grabbed 2, so we're just going to take those. On the bottom, we got 45 here. Let's see. Okay. This is a newer deck, you guys. It's the Solace Oracle. It has a lot to do with relationships and healing and releasing, toxicity, stuff like that. So this is kind of some of the stuff. Planting seeds. My garden grows with beauty and grace, yet how does one discern the weeds from the flowers? Okay. This takes me kind of to Empress energy, where it's like the Empress allows all things to grow, even if they look, or somebody else might deem them a weed. The Empress would allow it to grow, knowing that there's a purpose for it. And that's kind of been a thing going through the readings too, and the energy. It's like everything's happening for a reason, although we don't understand it all, especially in relationships, really impactful unions in our life. A lot of like karmic stuff, and feels like a lot of behind the scenes stuff playing out right now. They all look beautiful in my eyes. Even the rose, so enticing, pricks my finger. Give and receive the grace of acceptance, even when the balance of its existence may not be understood by those around you. And that is so true. Like, you may see the purpose of something, or you may understand the journey in a different way than somebody else. You may understand that this caused this, which caused this, which caused this, and it's been growth, and it's been healing, or it's been, and it might have been kind of a, misunderstood or misconstrued, maybe by others, maybe by you. You can take that however you want, but it says and I know I feel this is Empress energy, and I'm one of my favorite energies or archetypes of the tarot is the Empress, because she is nurturing, and some people might say, why are you allowing that to grow in your garden, or why what do you see in that? And it's like, the Empress understands everything grows in her garden for a reason, even if it's not known yet. So that's an important message. And it says this can be a challenge for some, because instinctively we react to a situation, seeing things from our own perspective. However, we are all uniquely different. So is it the wrong way if it doesn't match up with our terms and concepts about life? The answer is not necessarily. So when confusion exists, allow a gentle understanding to lead the way. This is obviously about letting things grow, not judging what's growing or happening in your life right now, just kind of allowing what's happening to turn into what it's supposed to turn into. We are looking for our own bit of joy, and we also need to live in harmony with others. When faced with controversial situations, try refraining from any hurtful or unnecessary statements that will not change anything. And this is the truth. And you may be dealing with some of this unacceptance, or this, I would say it's more like a lack of understanding in your life right now, where people may not understand the bigger, fuller picture. Maybe you have a little bit more of an understanding, but it doesn't mean they're wrong, and it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be allowed. Like every feeling, every perspective is allowed. So trying not to, and if this is somebody in your life that's judging or being harsh, making hurtful or unnecessary statements that won't change anything, just let it pass. Allow that space and respect that perspective, and just know that you may be seeing the beauty in something, even if it feels I know this is, I'm just kind of speaking for myself, but when things happen and they don't always feel good, I find the beauty in it, or I find the healing in it, or I find the lesson in it. I work hard to do that, because I feel like it's important about transmuting negative perceptions and energy and things that we go through that actually are here teaching us valuable lessons. So next time when walking through the wondrous garden of many blossoms, absorb all the glory in its purest form. Even wildflowers leave behind delicate blooms in the most unexpected places. Some will rip them from the ground while calling them weeds. Yes, and that is so true. There are people that will rip up the weeds, deem something even, deem something awful or bad when it's really good. It reminds me of, and excuse my language, but like a pile of shit. Let's use that as an example. It's, deemed a bad thing, especially if you step in it, or it's, but it's fertilizer. There's also a plus to a pile of shit. So I do want to make that little, there's a positive for things. We may not just understand in the moment how that is playing into the bigger picture or the bigger garden or the growth, okay? So some will rip them from the ground. Remember, the real treasure lies in the eyes and heart of the beholder, and that is the truth. It depends on how you see things. It is all about perspective, you guys. So recognize everybody has a different perspective, and it may not be yours, and theirs may not be, it might not match up, but there's a reason for everything, and to know that will give you a lot of peace in times of maybe feeling like it's unfair to rip that weed out of the ground, or it's unfair to say that that's worthless or doesn't have value. Seeing this bigger picture and allowing the bigger picture to unfold is allowing us to be at peace, more peace with the journey, and understanding that this does all, and it does serve a purpose. And if you've lived, that you learn things, even through rough things, even through deemed bad things. You learn a lot and you grow a lot. What one might disregard as trash, another finds to be unique and rare piece of art. Don't get caught up in all the rights and wrongs of this world, because in the middle of black and white, you will find a color called harmony. Now, this came in through the last round of readings, where there was this spectrum of colors between the black and the white. And those, right now, especially in this time period, everybody's needing to kind of, Spirit's asking everybody to look at the in-between, not the black and the white, finding all the different aspects, contributions, benefits of everything in between. Simply yes or no, or up and down. There's so much in between. So it's really saying, that's what we're, the energies we've kind of been dealing with. So we got 22, beautiful. And we got this, oh, yes, okay. And then we got this. It's curious. Okay, so it feels like angelic support for sure, heart healing, and then some kind of window of opportunity or something. But we will read these. This is really, I love the art in these cards, and I'm telling you, intuitively, they say something different than the words. So sometimes but this book, this deck is specifically for healing, and I would say a lot of toxic relationships, stuff like that, really healing stuff in that space. And it can have some tough love in it that's kind of hard to hear sometimes or even comprehend, but it's a wonderful, beautiful compilation of energies put into art. So it says, light the way, angel, let me ride on your wings of grace. And this is also this. It's feeling it really, having grace, even when it feels like your garden might be getting overgrown with by garden it's metaphorical for your life might be feeling overgrown with weeds or things that are deemed undesirable, but yet there is a purpose, and to know that and to allow that will bring forth, I think, opportunities and better things ahead. And the same plant that may be deemed a weed may have a medicine for, although there's poison too. What is it? There's this little saying that's the cure comes from the poison, or the cure for the poison is in the same plant, or something like that. There's a little saying, and that's what it's reminding me of. So it says, we all want answers and guidance to the questions and choices concerning our life. You may be questioning, maybe asking for some guidance right now. Obviously, if you're coming to the channel, you are looking for some kind of insight or guidance or encouragement, or support. Either way, that's what this is for. However, we must be aware of the methods available to receive the information. We have to tune into our higher self, because the answers may come to us in a non-conventional format. Your solutions could be right in front of you, but somehow got lost in translation. If you desire to receive messages, then just be confident in your ability to connect spiritually, because you are capable. Learning and understanding the different techniques of spirit communication isn't as tricky as some might assume. You just listen to your instincts. They always always lead with pure intentions, and that most pure intention is love, acceptance. Something I talk about a lot on this channel. It's something I feel like I've been through a lot for that reason, to understand that acceptance and love and understanding are some of the biggest things, when not utilized, cause poison in our circumstances, our life, our DNA, our ancestors. Like, it's healing a lot of deep-seated stuff. And this was light the way, and then this was planting seeds. So it feels like there's seeds being planted, and it's shining some light on those seeds here. And I've been feeling that even in these readings, that's kind of what is happening, even though it's like, I'd love to come on and just talk about all the grand stuff, but there's a lot of seeds that need nurtured and watered and light shined on them for them to grow, and they need allowed. So a lot of things need allowed right now. Perhaps you have seen the numbers over and over again. This is talking about paying attention for angel numbers, signs, synchronicities, strong vibes by particular books or valuable information, images that catch your eye. Go deeper with it. Maybe seek into those, what I call rabbit holing, but usually those are guided, and it's usually guided into a place where you are channeling information, where you're gaining information, and you can evaluate it and utilize it in your experience in your life. So that is that card. Now let's go to this next one, which is really it's beautiful. It's 11. We got 22, 11, and 15. Okay. Shifting planes. Chasing shadows in my mind of what is now and what's left behind. I reach but cannot touch the love I had and missed so much. Bring me down from disarray. My heart seeks peace. For this I pray. Yeah, maybe seeking some peace for some shifts that are happening in your life right now, Cancer. Really wanting to know what this kind of weed is doing in your garden, or what this purpose of this is, or this flower, or this thorn, or whatever this is happening in your life right now. This card brings peace and healing from your guardian angels and spirit guides, okay? So it says you may be feeling confused about your life and how to find direction, and lately things may not have felt entirely right. Perhaps you've been stuck in the past, and it's time to do some deep soul purging and let go of old ideas, feelings, or things from your yesteryears. Those things are no longer serving your higher self, and this is very important to moving forward and moving on. This comes through our thoughts, this comes through our feelings about ourselves, about our past, the things we've learned from. We may beat ourselves up over the stuff. We may have others still trying to beat us up over the stuff. But it's very important to know that staying in the past or holding on to feelings or old ideas, old perceptions, is only holding us back. It's not helping us move forward. They are not serving our highest good, not for you, not for anybody else. So if you're having a hard time making decisions and you have concerns about your future, you just can't seem to move forward because you have been fearful about making right choices. It's like being like, do I pull this weed? Do I let it grow? It's just very interesting. It says just be open about brushing away the past so you can prepare for your makeover. Clear your mind and let it be filled with new thoughts and ideas, not the old thoughts and old ideas. Maybe this is about releasing an old idea of what something should look like, an old preconceived idea, judgment about something, or something happening, or how something should look in your life when it's not looking or feeling like right. But once again, we go back to the black and white. Is that right? Is that wrong? Or is there a lot of in between that we're gathering all these different energies for our growth, and it just doesn't feel right compared to what we're used to, That's what's coming in. It says clear your mind and let it be filled with new thoughts and ideas. When doing this, keep a positive attitude. Assistance is coming to you from the other side, so let the loving light warm your heart. Try calming yourself by laying your hand on your chest. And as you breathe, feel your hand rise and lower. Breathe in deeply and And as you exhale, let go of any negative thoughts and fears you may have about moving forward. This is definitely about moving forward through something, to something. We have this card coming in here, and, you know, it's like there's so much helping guide you forward right now to something new here. We're going to go ahead and go to that and see what that card says. Beautiful emptiness. Looking through the window, the chocolates look so delicatable, luring you in. There's something here going into a space, going into a place that's kind of unknown. It feels like it has nothing in it. It's clear, and that's when we leave the past behind. It opens up all the space for new stuff to grow and to become what it's supposed to become. Knowing better, somehow you waver, you bite, only to discover it's bittersweet. There could be something here you're longing for in your life that you want. You may be watching from a distance, and you know it's just that's not where you're headed, if that makes sense. There feels like you're being guided forward to something that wow, it says this is also coming in as not being not seeking something that's not for you. So that's the main message of this card. It says it's not your life however you wish it could be. You wonder, why not you? How should you deal with all these uncomfortable feelings? Oh, recognizing and owning jealous feelings is a great place to start when dealing with complex emotion. Maybe there's something we could do to help us get moving in the right direction. Managing our thoughts and feelings is important, and one way to work off stress caused by jealousy. So you could be even looking around and going, wow, you know, I wish I had that kind of relationship, or I wish I had that kind of job, or I wish I hadn't done this in my past, or I wish I was, you know, I wish something was different. And then experiencing some kind of upset feeling, uncomfortable feeling about this comparison. This was also in Taurus's reading about judgments and comparisons and stuff like that. So it's kind of coming through here too, but in a different way. It's like feeling like you could be really longing for something that's just when you long for something that isn't yours, and you don't appreciate what you are going through, what you have, you're missing the whole middle between the black and white. That's the message I'm getting. Managing our thoughts and feelings is important. And you can exercise, do some kind of physical activity, and it will release tension, along with lots of other benefits. Also, it's important for us not to be critical of ourselves. Don't overjudge. Don't kind of just let the emotion run through you. If you're feeling a sort of way about something not being there for you, or this not being yours, or maybe this not happening in your life, or something not going as planned or as you envisioned or as you perceived it to go, it's saying not to let that disappointment just to let that disappointment or that jealousy or whatever it is run through you, and realize this is part of not being perfect. This is part of being human. And it says it's important for us not to be critical. No one is perfect. So we can evaluate our self-worth by simply complimenting ourselves from time to time. We can calm an overactive mind by remembering to let go of things we cannot control. You know, something just may not be yours or there for you or something, and it's like you can't control that. You can embrace what you have, and you can appreciate what you have. And we've all been given different gifts and talents, so we shouldn't try to compare ourselves to others. Instead, we should focus on our own positive traits and be more optimistic moving forward in our life. Confidence resides within a happy person, and that is not only attractive, it's admirable, but it's also infectious. I love that. So let's get an overall energy here with this Dreamer's Journey. Okay, and we got strength. Yes, courage and fortitude, compassion and growth. Being courageous and compassionate right now, not only with your own growth and what's growing in the garden or what's happening, but also knowing that this is a part of a process. There's something going on here, not to feel some sort of way about it. In a way, it's just saying allow what's happening to happen, and don't associate comparisons or judgments on it. Just kind of let whatever is happening happen. On the bottom here, it's accomplishments. abundance, fullness, satisfaction, and a personal achievement. This could be a real leap for you, for you to maybe allow something, or to accept something, or to show yourself or another, or both, compassion, and have courage and fortitude to keep moving forward and growing in spite of it maybe not being or looking or what you maybe envisioned. That's what I'm getting. So let's go ahead and get 3 of these, you guys, for under these. There's a lot of support in this message about really acceptance. That's one of the main things I'm getting. Acceptance, allowance, and guidance. Let's see here. Shining light. And we got leadership. Answer the call. This is under the shining light on it here. Let's see here. Yeah, that 22. Let me just double check, make sure I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, light the way. Yeah, it's being a leader, lighting the way, showing people the way forward through unknowns, maybe unexpecteds, maybe odd, different, seemingly out of place things in our journey are there for a reason. I know this is kind of definitely one of my probably missions. I try to do this. I don't really try, it just kind of happens because, you kind of learn from being that weed, or that thing or that energy that can be disruptive to somebody's ideas or beliefs on how something should look or be. And this is really about being a leader in this area of lighting the way to acceptance. Like I said, it feels like acceptance. Let's go do this. Okay. And then we got clarity, go within. And this is under that guidance card where you might be asking for guidance from your angels. Creation, expansion in your life. Okay. So, interesting. We got this clarity, go within. And this is under this going within the heart, going within. Interesting. Yeah. Shifting planes. Trying to get some answers and some shifting energies, some shifting things happening, some things maybe happening in your life right now that feel kind of out of whack, uncomfortable maybe. Go within to get clarity. And then we have the wake-up call under this, what I'm feeling as like kind of accepting that something maybe isn't yours, or isn't there for you, or it's just not there's a feeling here of wanting something that's kind of, it's not, I hate to say this, but it's like just not in your reach. It's not in your space, okay? That's not necessarily a bad thing, but maybe something isn't growing or happening in your life that you see maybe happening in other people's lives. Don't compare yourself or your situation to others. It says listen and take note, wake up call. There's something here, like the more you long for something that just isn't in your path or in your garden, the more everything that is growing there gets overlooked, and it doesn't get the value or the respect it deserves, because it's like, oh, I have all these, this is just a metaphor or an example coming in, but it's like, oh, I have all these flowers in my garden, but I want that one, like this one, maybe it's an exotic flower or something that you want it, but the soil or the atmosphere or the environment isn't for that flower. It isn't for that plant, or that person, or that job, or whatever it is, metaphorically speaking. So to allow what is meant for your space, for this place, to grow and to thrive and grow great. But certain things may not grow great in your garden. That's a message coming through. So let's go ahead and read this. A leadership, answer the call. 8. Card number 8 is linked to the planet Saturn, which concerns duty, responsibility, security, and discipline, all qualities needed for good leadership. It means to be open to the opportunities that always will come knocking. It means being prepared to welcome change and growth. At the top of this reading, strength. And it does take a lot of strength to recognize that we go through maybe tougher things, or they feel really tough, to grow us, to strengthen our, there's a word I'm looking for, but it's our, kind of our knowing, of what we want, what we don't want, what we're good at, what we're not, what is there for us, what's not. There's just a feeling of needing to go in your heart and know something here that's just not something clearly coming through, that there's something here definitely not to be longing for, to accept something as it is, and to allow what is part of you, or part of your garden, or part of your space, to be what it's supposed to be. That's the message coming through. It says leadership often entails entering uncharted territory and creating a new path for others who follow in your wake. And this is lighting the way and the leadership. So it's really lighting the way for others to follow what's good for them too. Like it says, to be asked to be a leader by Metatron requires faith that you will always walk these steps, but that you will do so with the light burning brightly inside you. The darkness diminishes, and all that can be seen is the blazing trail ahead into what your higher self has already agreed to long before you incarnated. This is where leaving the past behind and moving forward comes in, you guys, really powerfully. In order to shine the light on the path forward, you have to close the door on what's already been walked, what's already been done, and all building and stepping stones in your foundation to where you are now, if that makes sense. It says your light goes out in front of you, and others become aware of it, even if they do not understand it or realize the impact it can have on anyone who sees, feels, or touches it. You make a difference each day just by being you. The keys on this card highlight that there are many doorways still to present themselves in your life. And that's kind of what I was feeling with this window too. It's like there's a lot left to discover, not to get set in stone on one idea or one thing that you think this is the way it should be, and it's just not. That's what I'm getting. It says your light goes, or excuse me, you will know which to open, which to walk away from, and which doorways are for others to walk through. So there could be something you're witnessing, like somebody walking through their own path in life, or you're just like, man, but it's their door to walk through, not yours. There's like a different door for you. There's like a different path. There's a different path here. And it is a path of leadership and lighting the way for others, maybe to take their doors and take allow what's for them to be in their lives too. It says robes of purple and crimson red are worn by those who have earned the wisdom to wear them, with such wisdom coming from many lifetimes before this one that you experience now. Leadership is not a lonely place with Metatron at your side. His beacon flame is given to those he knows he can trust to do his work and spread his energy of transformation on this planet. Those whom you ask to help will have been sent to you and are a correct vibrational fit for what you have to impart to them. Truly, leaders are teachers who pass on knowledge, but are mainly here to remind each person they meet of what already lies dormant within them, reminding the people around you of their light and their their truth, in accepting all the parts and the in-betweens of the black and white, pointing that out by kind of walking in those steps. It says you take no back, or it says in Metatron's army of light, many leaders are needed. Those from different backgrounds, life experiences, creeds, ages, and races. You are one who has been called. All that is asked is that you say yes, and the beacon will be lit in your honor to give to you. You take no baggage with you, no preconceived ideas, expectations, or hopes, just yourself and your light. That is all you need for whatever you are asked to be, do, or say in this role. You signed up for this and you are ready. So this is powerful, saying, you may have gotten this call and you're recognizing that there are things from the past you need to release, let go of. The clarity is in just knowing that you have something to offer, and what is there is meant for you to touch with your light, and that is another message I'm getting. So let's go to this clarity, which is number 15. And it says, you seek clarity now on something that is bothering you and making you feel out of balance. This could be that want or that need for something that's not growing in your garden. This could be that there's things that you're still looking at or perceiving or conceiving as bad or good, black or white, when there's lots of things in between here to be looking at. It says it may be an answer that just won't come, or an explanation, or a higher meaning to something happening around you. I know I'm feeling this in the energy. It's like all this stuff's happening, and it's like I want like resolution. I want like an answer yesterday of why this is happening. Like, why is this feeling this way, and why is this? And we aren't. And maybe that's the thing that you seek. That's just not yours to know. It's just your job is to shine your light on the path forward, on the seeds that are growing, on your garden. And yeah, that's what I'm getting. It says, but clarity can come in waves when we quiet our bodies and minds and allow the moment to just be. It can last for hours, days, or months. It is the still small whisperings of our soul that we often ignore or don't have time to properly hear. A state of tranquility is needed where we can stop and allow our spiritual guides to connect with us, and it helps us hear them and feel their love for us. And that is this card above this card. We need that time of silence and acceptance and openness to what's coming in for us in energy, in light, because as we also are lighting the way, the light is being lit for us also. Whatever is small, there's something above it and above that, and until you get to everything, and that's all. That's God. So there's just this feeling of this passing down, you needing to follow a light, follow a calling, and therefore lighting the way for others to follow theirs. That's what I'm getting. It says, having created space to hear your own wisdom and spiritual intelligence, you are reminded that no one has the answers to your questions but you. And this is stuff we learn, the answers to our questions we may not get like this. It comes through experience, it comes through wisdom, and it comes through learning by living. And that's how the answers come. Sometimes the answer won't come for years, sometimes it won't come for 20 years, sometimes it won't come for a day. It just depends on what the answer is. It's interesting. It says, you may seek counsel and advice from others, but there must be no delegation of responsibility. Which means this is not somebody else's responsibility, this is your responsibility. It's your responsibility to nourish and nurture what you have, to answer the call and be the leader in your life with your light, and to find clarity within, not through, somebody else isn't going to give you that. You're going to earn that. You're going to get that by experiencing and walking on this path. This is big. Metatron will nudge, prompt, and support you, but he will not step in to answer everything for you. He serves you by empowering you to hear your own answers and to trust in what you feel, sense, or hear. He often gives you a piece of the jigsaw puzzle, but will not complete it for you. Like the teacher that he is, he encourages you to learn and find your own way. And this starts with clearing away what is unimportant and focusing on what is. That's what I'm getting. It's like you could be focusing on stuff that's like mundane details or the past or the future. And right now this is an empty space where you need to focus on what's there. And whether that's emptiness or there's already things growing that you may deem as like, what? This isn't what I was trying to grow. But our highest self knows what we're trying to do and what we're trying to grow, and the lessons we need to learn about acceptance and grace and gratitude. So that's coming through too. Clarity cannot be found in hectic, frantic states of being. It is found by giving yourself permission to stop, breathe deeply, and center yourself. Spend time in silence, free of distractions, noise, and chaos. You return to simplicity of listening to your own heartbeat and your own breath, slowing everything down to a point of deep serenity where clarity can be found. Don't push for an answer or resolution. This has also been in the energy. It's like, I want it yesterday. I want the answer or the solution or the resolution now, yesterday. That's not how this works, guys. So we got to remain patient and accepting and Be grateful for the time we're getting. The in-between, the black and the white, the then and the there. There's so much happening and so much being learned right now, and it could be behind the scenes, it's happening in the scenes, it's actually happening physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. There's so much happening right now, collectively. But it says, realize you will be given what you need for now, okay? What you need now, what's growing now, it's there. The answer's right in front of you. Fill into the fresh perspective the aquamarine energy gives and allow it to aid and help you reach diamond clarity. I love that, aquamarine. Whenever you need it, it is here waiting to serve you. I love that. And then we got that wake-up call. And this is a loud wake-up call. So whatever's happening right here in front of you today that you may have a hard time accepting or understanding is happening to help you move forward. This is rebirth. This is, this is following the call. This is being... and it does come with especially when we're coming into new space, new territory, we have to leave behind old dreams, old perceptions, old ideas of what our life should look like or what we deserve, or it's a humbling, it's crazy. And it says card number 11 links to the planet Pluto and rebirth. True. And we got tons of Pluto stuff going on, you guys, seriously. It all relates to 1111 coded wake-up call, programmed to make us sit up and take notice of spirit. Notice the spirit in your life. Notice the spirit in yourself. Notice the connection that you have. Pay attention to that. Be grateful for that. Nurture that right now, no matter what's happening around you. It is a time to step into the deepest trust. And this energy is requiring deep faith and trust in the process, in what's growing, even if I don't care how it looks. I don't care if you wish you had a garden of every colored rose and you end up with dandelions and cactuses. Trust those dandelions and cactuses are there for a reason. You have been aware for some time that something needs to change, something is coming, or that a situation can no longer carry on. Your inner voice may have whispered, but Metatron now shouts the warning message loudly for you to hear. Something is loudly coming in clearly and saying, this isn't yours, or this isn't what's growing in your garden. It's like, are you going to accept this? Are you going to get on board with what you agreed to do? Before it may be incarnating here if you believe this. Not everybody does, and that's fine, but there's also a feeling here of radical acceptance for the path you're on, the garden you have, and using your strengths and your not comparing your strengths to others, because you may have strengths to offer that light the way that others don't, vice versa. So there is a really powerful energy here of acceptance. Particularly the combination, it says, it's a warning message loudly for you to hear. You may experience ringing in your ears, popping of energy, or an unblocking of one or both ears as you hear Metatron call you. You may also see numbers, particularly the combination 1111, which are prompting you to see things in a new way, gain a new perspective, remove blockages about the past or what you envision for the future, and kind of just be in the now and take in what's kind of what you're being guided to do here. This is very strong energy coming in, light energy coming in to activate this maybe acceptance or this encouragement or this reality check. It's kind of feeling like that too. Only you could say that to somebody else, they'd be like, whatever, that's not reality, that's imagination or invisible. No, the other realms are very real, and our spiritual lives are very real, and energy is very real. So there's no beating around the bush about that. He does so with love and urgency as a warning to carry on regardless. Not heeding the advice and guidance carries consequences. And if this calling is ignored, your path will no longer be in alignment with your soul's true calling. Yeah, so if you keep looking for something or going for something that's not meant for you, there is consequences. There's karmic consequences. There's consequences to doing that, even if you feel or tell yourself that is. This is about your spiritual mission or your spiritual job here, not about the earthly, what you perceive to be your earthly, destiny or whatever. There's not really an earthly destiny except for that we are here to spiritually grow, and that's why we're here. So letting something maybe physical, or beating up on yourself because you're not that, or comparing yourself to that, or wishing you had that, or wanting that when it's not there, it's not yours. They have their own door to walk through and you have your own door to walk through. Appreciating that and accepting that can really, it's a strong commitment to spirit. It's strong commitment to the higher knowing, which we are guided by, but we don't know. Like, we're working on that. It's very interesting energy I'm getting. It says you can ignore the call, carry on as before, but he will come back, and each time the call for change will be louder and still more insistent. Metatron never gives up on you, never abandons you, and always has your best interest at heart, as well as everyone else concerned in any event, situation, or relationship. The wake-up call signals that one way of doing life is now over. This doesn't mean you have a completely different life overnight, you guys. This just means there's a certain way you may be going about doing something, and it's asking you to go about doing it a different way. Maybe changing your perspective on it. Maybe accepting something here that maybe you haven't accepted. That's also a message coming through. And these have been kind of a little tough love here, but it's time. It's time for these shifts, these changes, these releases. It's coming to a head, you guys. This need to release the past, this need to move into our spiritual positions. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Our spiritual callings, our soul's work, and it's whatever that is, whatever the area of life is in that you've learned so much about and that you can shine light on and you can light the way for others on. It's not every path. It's not every experience. Some people just have different things that they're teaching and they're here to learn, and therefore then spread that light on that subject or that feeling or that experience, if that makes sense. And it just says, there's one way of life, way you've been doing things that's now over. Don't do it that way anymore. If you continue to do something the same way over and over again, it's going to get louder and it's going to be longer and it's going to be harder to attain and achieve the spiritual mission that you're here to do. It's just, there's so much, you guys. It says you can't ignore this. It says you can't ignore it, but it will come back. So, it isn't going to be your last opportunity, but the sooner the better for everybody on the path. The wake-up call signals that one way of doing life is now over. You need to prepare for the new, and it will be done for the highest good for you and everyone else involved. What seems difficult and at times impossible will be made easier for you. That was also in another message. Like, now's the time to do something, and it's going to be easier now to do it than at another time. This could be just the way the planets are aligning. This could just be the energy that's kind of trying to help all these. And it does feel like towery energy, so we can start rebuilding from a stronger foundation. After everything we've learned and everything we've grown from, we can actually start with this new foundation that's been built through hardship and through resilience and fortitude and courage and compassion. The strength card being at the top of this reading, you guys. So that's really powerful. A foundation of strength, this spiritual strength. It says there is still a short time to prepare, to evaluate, and to gather your strength. But the winds of change are here and time is running out. And this was also in Gemini's reading about time. And it's like now, like we are only allowed so much time, you guys, to do this work. And time doesn't stop, and neither should we. If anything, we should really appreciate that we have this time and we need to utilize it for this growth for ourselves and to light the way for others while we're here. And we can. As the call by you is heeded, the skies lighten and the golden rays come back to you. Oh, that's interesting because that's in a different card, but these are the golden rays, The light pierces the darkness to reveal a new vision, a new life, a new possibility. Wake-up calls can be both individual, affecting our own day-to-day life, and collective, entwined with raising global consciousness. And this has been feeling quite collective, all these energies, you guys. It's not just feeling like one or another, and they've been getting more like that, all the readings. Because I think it's like we're a thin membrane of sensitive membrane all connected, and that membrane is getting this tissue that we all are, the flesh that we all are, is becoming more aware. We're becoming more aware of its connectedness and that it's the same. It's just an interesting feeling of, and that's kind of how it's like, the same flesh. And it's starting to feel like we're feeling more of all of it, because we're realizing to connectedness of it all, if that makes sense. Let's get a card for this here under leadership, and this light the way. It's the Knight of Pentacles. I deserve financial security. Now, this is more feeling like spiritual reading, but this is about your security, any earthly security here on earth. And answering your call, you could, if you are answering a call and you are lighting the way, you could be even earning money or making this a job, which I don't, I just have my own things about that, but you do deserve material security and earthly security, and being a leader, shining the light on the path forward is going to offer you that. And he's also, it's very interesting, there's this light shining through in this card, and it's like you can shine the light on the material matters, the earth matters, if that makes sense. That's how that's coming through. Let's see here, clarity, and we got the Magician. Yes, utilizing your inner resources, all of yourself, your whole self, and only yourself, manifesting, creating clarity, creating comfort, and creating security in even the unknowns and the things that feel maybe a little like off right now. Okay, and then under the wake up call, which is another that number 11. We got another 11 there. And strength. Okay. And we got that Two of Wands. I focus on what I want and make it happen. And then the High Priestess on the bottom, you guys. My intuition guides me to the truth. All right? So this is focus, focus, focus. Listen and focus and take note of what it is you're being guided to accept, to understand, to move on from, to move through, and to move to right now. That's what I'm getting. So let's go ahead and get Shamanic Oracle here. Whoop. Hold on. Okay, sorry guys, I had to use the restroom real quick. So we're going to get a Shamanic Oracle, or the Shaman's Mystical Shaman. This is one of my favorite decks, you guys. Let's see. Acceptance, 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 you guys. That's what we want, and that's what we must give. There we go. Let's see. The spiral. Nice. And then on the bottom, the hummingbird. All right, so let's go ahead and read them. 26. The hummingbird. The buzzing you feel is the sound of your hummingbird wings preparing you to say yes to a new adventure. This is not the time to linger on what has gone wrong, but to trust in the rightness of the moment and take bold action. Trust that success is assured, even if you must face tests and challenges to reach your destination. Know that all will be well because the all is in the small. Doing something accepting and different here. Taking those bold moves to do something different, and this is action. Doing something different is action. Maybe inaction is action if you're used to acting. You know, there's a lot to this. So facing challenges, tests. A challenge could be, hey, getting over the perception or the idea of what something should be or something should look like, or how the timing of it, or whatever it is, you guys. So that's the hummingbird, and let's go ahead and read the spiral. To renew yourself, you must shed your old skin and get ready for that makeover. I know, you know, in my process, there's been a few times like this where it's like, again, like it feels like a whole, like a redo, like, but not, it's not like a life redo, but it's like a self, not even a redo. It's more like a revamping or re-energizing or restructuring, realignment. It's very interesting, but that's kind of what this is feeling like. It says you have already done this. Oh, this is good. So do not keep scraping away at the old. There's nothing else to, and that's what I was just feeling. It's like, wait a minute. I know, you know, when you've done this, it's like, what else is there to scrape away? What else is there to redo or realign or reevaluate when you've kind of already shed the old skin? But it says, welcome So don't scrape away at the old. Stop if you're trying to still, um, I would say, change things about yourself. It's saying, you need to just, now is the welcoming process into this space, this kind of empty space, this place that's soft and new and vulnerable and doesn't look like the full place maybe you had envisioned, but it is. It's full of opportunity. It's full of light because you're walking in it. You're going to bring something to this space, if that makes sense. It says, break the habit of working on all your faults all the time and let nature take its course. Yeah, so if you're trying to, you have to welcome the new skin that has grown and is starting to grow. Break that habit of working on the faults all the time and let nature take its course. If you're still trying to change things about yourself or trying to make yourself better and more better, and I always believe in working on ourselves but you'll find those places naturally. So it's really just saying, know that this new skin is unfamiliar. It's maybe uncomfortable. It's soft. It's vulnerable. But now we've learned how to handle vulnerabilities, how to handle emotions, how to accept things, how to let them flow through us, and how to grow and continue this. So it's really just saying this is getting put into action now. And this is that judgment or that wake-up call. It will feel vulnerable and scary at times. Trust the medicine of the spiral as it guides you on your journey of renewal. Allow nothing to get in the way of this process. I love that. From galaxies in the sky to diminutive shells at the beach, the spiral is found extensively in the natural world. Its shape in the form of coiled serpent has been used since ancient times as a tool for growth and transformation. The spiral is a guide for entering deep into one's consciousness and the unknown, and then extending far out into the heavens. It is crucial to surrender to this journey until the exhausted paradigm dissolves in the depths of the psyche and its energy is released to give birth to a new reality. I love that. This is feeling kind of collective too. All this energy has been feeling like that. So let's go ahead and get one of these, you guys. And this is the Spiral Oracle. For 4th house. Okay. There we go. And what do we got? Dance of Heartbeats, you guys. Wow. And we got the Stellar Embrace at the bottom. Stellar Embrace. Being held by the universe right now and need to trust right now. Let me see. I argued with reality. That's what this one card feels like, where it's like, I wanted something different. I didn't want it to look like this. This is my reality, really? And it's like, yes, accept this as your reality and embrace your reality and shine light on your reality. Bring yourself to it. Other people are meant to go through other doors. This is your door. It says, I argued with reality and life felt like a strict teacher. True. How can I rest in my here and now when the situation is so complex? So I took a journey to self-observation and found a limitation that I hadn't seen before. Little by little, adapting to the new and accepting that space as it is. The new, the vulnerable, the fresh skin, the emptiness, the space that doesn't look like what you thought it was going to look like. The space as it is. The now, in between the black and the white, the then and the there, what's now. A deep gratitude began to grow in me, and today I welcome in my heart a sacred sadness, a true vulnerable I. Today, I finally give myself a break. Life invites me to dare to go through that dark night of feelings not fully lived, because it is useless to fight against the inevitable. So if there's something here coming in that's, it just doesn't feel like what you wanted it to feel like, it's saying embrace it. Embrace it, because it has feelings here. It says life invites me to dare to go through the dark night of feelings not fully lived, things that haven't even been created yet in this empty place. And it's daring you to go into this space of the unknown where things that haven't existed yet exist. That's what I'm getting. Because it's useless to fight against the inevitable. So change is inevitable. This is inevitable. Accepting that, embracing it, and going through it with your light intact is going to be beneficial. not only to you, but to the collective. Much of the dance of life, and then we got the dance of heartbeats next. But it says much of the dance of life is moving in an uncertain, mysterious direction. I am not in control. So I let go of that struggle, move out of the way, and stop being the interference in my own path. And that comparison, that self-criticism, maybe hanging on to stuff from the past, is the obstacle, the interference to your own path forward, okay? I accept my sadness and I grow in joy. I accept my weakness and increase my strength. Accepting your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities, accepting it all helps you grow in strength. Acceptance and reconciliation is the key words to this card. It's a reconciling, but it's definitely feeling like a reconciling in the spirit realm, not necessarily the earth realm, but it's all intertwined. So we have to trust that this is all, it's so much bigger than what we can wrap our heads around, you guys. Acceptance matures in me when there is full confidence that I can throw myself into the void and pass through the confusion, knowing that the intelligence of life always sustains me. I jump into an abyss made of fear, and after jumping, I begin to float. I look down from above, and the landscape of acceptance permeates me completely. My inner struggle calms down, and an immense force springs forth from that place. I reconcile myself, so it doesn't feel so fragmented. I embrace in myself all that is coming. What you deny claims you. What you accept transforms you. I love that. And then let's go to this dance of heartbeats, because it did bring up the dance too, and that's what we drew. And then I just looked on the bottom, and that's what that stellar embrace was. And this is going to wrap up your guys' reading. When I approach the world and the world is bleak, I feel like the desolate wilderness. When I see you with those empty, dark, and absent eyes, my colors darken. When you define our boundaries out loud, or just with a glance, I fragment. When there is a ringing silence in the face of injustice, even if it feels not right or unjust, you guys, this is powerful. We need to accept. We're reconciling something bigger here. My whole body shakes. All this happens because we are beings united in a delicate living tissue, sharing the same ancient wound and the same cosmic dance that moves us between joy and sadness. Recognizing my sensitivity today, I honor and listen to it without underestimating it, without identifying myself with it. I attentively observe every sensation I experience. I am moved, letting myself be carried away by the heartbeat of mystery. In that swaying, I realize that I am also responsible for my enjoyment and for my bliss. I open myself with awakened curiosity to the precious and wild creation that I am. And the key word to this is enjoyment. Today, I delicately treat our pains and limitations, both yours and my own, with love, compassion, and patience. As an alchemist, I change the dense into fluidity. I transform the pain into joy and vulnerability. I explore the sublime enjoyment, the caress of water on my skin, the warmth of my inner fire. I recognize the healthy boundaries that encompass love, respecting my own space and the spaces I share with others. Naturally, I allow the nectar of life to gently bring together what once felt separate. To bring together the fragmented parts of ourselves to each other. Yeah, this is definitely what I'm feeling. I now dance in unison with life, discovering new and unexplored dimensions of my being. I love that, you guys. So I really hope that helps somebody, and I appreciate you guys coming, watching your reading. And as always, I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.